Edgecombe still out there with Barlow, Bona, Dalen Terry, and Edwards, Dadier, and Tyler Kolek. Porty liking those drives to the basket. And of course, Jalen Brunson's dad, Rick Brunson, is an assistant coach. Knew his career was over was by the Sixers, and it was a Knicks Sixer preseason game where New York, Madison Square Garden, and Jalen accompanied him as a little kid. Videos out there about how hard he pushed Jalen to be a great player. As Alvarado comes, Dadier, that deflected out of bounds. Edwards. It was his third game as
in this building.
26 points, 8 threes, had 5 steals. Banks that. And now he's playing the NBA in Manhattan, so he's covering at least 3 of the bars. Some extra chatter. Shamet trying to say no, didn't try and do it. So Shamet picks up his second foul. Bench play, and again, their bench has been excellent in the postseason. As Edgecombe shot off.
On a given night, and I talked about Shamet. I'll finish my point on that. He was a guy that were affected, but just always ready to come in, compete, better defender than you would think. And out
there to greet him. Alvarado tries a three-pointer. Well, he hit 8. I can't believe we're having this with 9.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Trouble staying healthy, and Shamet gets an ovation coming off. And they've still got a lot of money.
When he had an all-league season, but those are tough decisions to make when you have that kind.
Immense talent, a generational talent and player who's on his way to being one of the all-time.
Because you look back to the Boston series, they don't win that series if Embiid doesn't come back into that series and really dominate Boston the way that he forced, Mike. That is so hard to find an answer for defensively, but he's got so many.
Inspirational win, down 3-1 against the Celtics, win 2 games in Boston, including Game 6. And they're on the verge of being swept and dominated. Going to 5 lead changes, but they just couldn't make the plays at crunch time. Knicks crunch time.
They're healthier, the exception of what they're dealing with right now with Anunoby, which doesn't look to be all able to.
Knicks fans making sure they're being heard. Again, it's another road record is, and it's counting this afternoon if they obviously hold on and the Awara.
Focus, and that's also great rhythm. And they represent a big challenge for anybody preparing to play them.
Jeremy Sohan, Porty. There was an offensive clinic tonight. You know, Legs, we talked about so many of the players as all season long. Never panicked, tried different things, listened to so many people. Last year. And he's handled, Mike Brown has, he's handled the ups and downs so well in trailing. But right now he's on the verge of a sweep to get the Knicks to the conference finals in Google search. So extensive time as the great mark.
To have the mindset to end series when you get an opportunity. You know, it's one less game you have to play.
Terry to Bona. Bona fighting inside, gets it because the 3rd-string point guard. He had some really good moments this year. Dadier, the second-year player from France, blocked. We've petitioned for running time here in the 4th quarter.
I wouldn't mind it.
We've been denied. Edwards drives inside. Nice move from Ed. Cavaliers and the Pistons to have a nice long series. Although, is there a balance between, yes, you want a nice long series and
the ball? If Mike Brown had his way, I'm sure he'd wish for a Game 7 in that series and a strength with OG Anunoby making a return at some point.
Nice steal by Terry. Again, that's the key for the Knicks. Anunoby, who was 2 games with a hamstring injury. He's still listed day to day. And Knicks had the luxury of being able to sit him the last 2. Terry is fouled by Deal. He wasn't an all-star right away. His work ethic got him there. And Nick Nurse said, what an outstanding career.
One of the most physical pound-for-pound guards his size that have ever played team as a result.
Now, he has not announced his retirement. There's been hints of that. And did not play much this year, Kyle Lowry, but certainly a mentor and a leader for a lot of these young Sixers.
Anything negative to say about the four guys that are here today. And if you throw Doug,
you're a bigger man forward, legs. Diawara trying to draw a foul. MVP. Knicks had won in 70 and 73 and have not won a title since. The way
finals a couple of times. This will be their 6th appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals since then.
They got a lot of work.
You know, has the ability to draw 2 players on every possession depending on your...
There's a handful of players in the NBA that if they're on your roster, you feel every night you get ready to cheer here on this Mother's Day. And again, it's going to be either Detroit and handle the Knicks. Knicks are a different team now, but Detroit will be a tough matchup. Far from over.
Yeah, and that Detroit, what they did to them in the way that their spacing is, the way they're shooting the basketball, much more confident.
First round last year in a very hard-fought, emotional series that a lot of close games. 30 minutes.
And so far for the Cavs, it's been a tale of Homer Road for them. The entire big game 4 for the Cavs coming up, trying to even that series.
Kolek three-pointer, the all-time NBA playoff record. It's a week from today.
The first half, they got quiet actually because the lead got so big. The Knicks fans even got a little disinterested. Fans not to let this happen in their building. They did it again.
Well, it's easy to get down here from New York as Broom hits Julius Randle's arrival. Knicks went through a lot of dark years as Dottier fans on their feet, the standing ovation. Broom gets it. And they've won 7 consecutive playoff games. Edgecombe still out there with Barlow, Bona, Dalen Terry, and Edwards, Dottier, and Tyler Kolek. Porty liking those drives to the basket. And of course, Jalen Brunson's dad, Rick Brunson, is an assistant coach. Knew his career was over was by the Sixers, and it was a Knicks Sixer preseason game where New York, Madison Square Garden, and Jalen accompanied him as a little kid. Videos out there about how hard he pushed Jalen to be a great player. As Alvarado comes, Dottier, that deflected out of bounds. Edwards. It was his 3rd game as a Knick.
In this building.
26 points, 8 threes, had 5 steals. Banks that. And now he's playing the NBA in Manhattan, so he's covering at least 3 of the bars. Some extra chatter. Shamet trying to say no, didn't try and do it. Shamet picks up his 2nd foul. Bench play, and again, their bench has been excellent in the postseason. As Edgecombe shot off.
On a given night, I talked about Shamet. I'll finish my point on that. He was a guy that wasn't affected, but just always ready to come in, compete, better defender than you would think. And out
there to greet him. Alvarado